Hey guys, this is Kiro speaking, and today we are going to take a look at the finished and yet a bit buggy final flow of creating platforms, i.e. cars and models and engine families and engine models, and a lot has happened. So how to illustrate this? Well, I'm going to build a little series of a new car, and we're getting right into it. So this will be focusing on these four menus up here. Alright, I'm going to build a city hatchback with 3 different versions using 3 different engines from the same family. All these cars would be able to be built on the same production line, and all the engines would be able to be built on the same production lines as well. Alright, so here we are back. I've designed the car. Nothing too fancy, obviously. Just workable. Ugly nose. This car is going to be called the Mundane City Hatch. Alright, makes perfect sense. And the first model we are going to work on is the budget version. So, and now this is a kind of run-of-the-mill front-wheel drive, front-engined small city vehicle. And it's red. And now we're going to build the first engine. And as you can see here, the engine family has popped up, and we are calling it the i4 series. And we are choosing for this family of engines just kind of standard stuff. Let's see. So this is the family, and now we can start making a model, and this will be the sports version. So we call it red. Perfect. Okay, so here we are. We have made the red engine. It's revving to 7.5k RPM. And it has not too fancy interiors or anything, nothing special. As you can see here, 1.8 liters, produces like 120 kilowatts, has VVT, and direct injection is running on super unleaded, and pretty aggressive on the timing and fuel mixture, so we are not expecting any wonders regarding fuel economy. Exhaust and stuff are set, straight throughs, nothing fancy, but a bit more sporty. So 127 kilowatts actually. So that's the first engine we built, but now we don't really want to put this engine into our car, not the budget car at least. So what we're going to do now is just go here, and then we are going to clone the engine, and we can select the newly made cloned Model 1. So now we are working on the clone of the model, and while we are not allowed to change anything here, this will be locked then, we can change this stuff here. So for this one, we are going to make an economy version of this engine. So basically detuning it. We're going down with the bore, but up with the stroke. So very under square and potentially more efficient. And there we have it. Not only is it much more economical, it also lacks severely in power. So yeah, we still have the wrong color, of course. So we are going to go here, make it blue, and then we call it such. Too many colors. There we go. So this now is our model blue. And now we are going to make the engine for the budget version, which is the green. So let's do the same here. We clone the blue engine. We have Model 1 popping up in the list. We select Model 1, and now we are working on a copy of the same engine, and we can tune it to be going into our budget car. The green engine is a really boring one. We have gone to multi-point fuel injection instead. So saving quite a bit of money there, and we are even more detuned and use a smaller setting for the engine in total. This is just a 1.4 liter engine, and drop cam profile a bit more, and so on. So So what I just noticed is that I made a mistake in the blue engine. First we call this one green. If we want to make a change in the blue engine now, that should not be a problem. We just go to blue. It loads in the blue engine with all our settings. As you can see here, it's still the same. But what I wanted to change is to actually go to low friction cast. Let's use this one and continue onwards. So this one is now saved again, and we can use the green one because that's what we wanted to put in the budget car. So we continue with that one and go to trim. So this engine is now installed in the budget model of the series, the Mundane City Hatch. And what we're going to do here now is just, well, design the cars as you would usually. So first off, we are going to go for a really cheap and nasty, very budget green series of the car, the budget series. And let me finish the design and then we take a look at the other models. So here the finished version of the budget car is, and we have a high tameness, pretty low sportiness and a pretty low comfort car. As you can see here, we just chose very basic stuff, but standard safety, as this would be driven around in the city. Probably the people buying such a car would appreciate to have at least a standard level of safety. We did go for really shitty tires and brakes, sufficient but not really good. Small tires, as you can see here. These look horribly small, actually. Oh my god. I definitely wouldn't want to drive one of these, but it's nicely set up. As you can see here in the test track, I optimized it for optimal tameness. And overall, yeah, it's shit, but it's kind of good. So let's go with that. It doesn't weigh much and has pretty good fuel economy. Overall, decent car. So now what we are going to do with this one now is to clone it just as we did with the engines. So we just press the clone button, a new model popped up, we select the new model, and here we are. So now we rename this one, and that is the eco version of the car. And as we have the eco version of the car, we of course want to select the blue engine. And now we just retest this one, has a bit more power, it's even better in fuel economy, and we go to trim and do the same stuff as we did before. Yep, so here we have it, tuned for optimal tameness once again. You can see the economy is much better in this one. Overall, pretty expensive compared to the budget version, more man-hours too, but should be decent. So what we are going to do now is build the final version of this car, which is the sports version. So let's again just clone this one, and we have a new model sitting here. Choose it, and now we're going to do the sports version of the car with all kinds of fancy equipment. This one now is the sports version of the series. As you can see here, we gave it a geared limited slip diff and much wider tires, magnesium rims, and proper brakes, 3-piston and 2-piston, vented discs, same size but a bit more aggressive on the pads, fully clad, and premium and standard stuff in there, and traction control to make it a bit more, or less actually, less spinny on the front. But don't forget, it's actually a front-wheel drive car. And for the springs, we chose adaptive dampers and semi-active sway bars. Generally, it's set up as a sports version of the car, and I have tested it as such. Put it a bit more between the lines, so a bit more focus on the sports aspect of the car. It definitely also is the heaviest in the series, but it has significantly more power as well. Yeah, so let's take a look. So now we have all our cars sitting here, and we can now... this is still a bit bugged, it's just the list items are shifted by 1. So you can directly compare them. The blue-purple picture here is going to be the basically a thumbnail for the car, for the model you made. and you can directly compare them in here, and you can see the stats progression. So the Eco model had, as you can see, 21.3 sportiness, even though my mouse cursor is now a new model. That's the Eco one, it's all shifted by one. And the Eco one, i.e. the sports one, had almost 37 sportiness, as we have seen, and so on. So, what does it look like now to conclude when you go out of here? All of them are saved. I didn't have to press any save button or whatsoever. It's all in there. So we go out of here and we go into Sandbox. And now you see this little list item. We have the car family up here, the mundane city hatch. And we have 3 models in it. And here you have the stats, which you can sort, of course. And then, yeah, you see the production units and the interior costs and so on. And of course you also have the inline 4 series, which you could put into other cars and completely other platforms as well, or base a completely new family on one. You could do all these things, and of course you can sort these as well. Not working right now, but anyway, that will be happening soon enough. And yes, that's all I wanted to show you. Hope you enjoyed, and see you guys next time.